Peace, 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 bro. Peace, peace. Peace, 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 peace. Peace, peace. Peace, 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 peace. Peace, 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 peace. Peace, 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 peace. Peace, 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 peace. We're gonna dive into this science. We got about 30 more seconds and it's on. We always like to give ourselves 5 minutes, at least a good mantra before we get into the teaching. So we got 20 more seconds. Peace, 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 peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, 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 Moorish. Peace, peace. Peace, 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 peace. All right. That's about that time. Huh? Huh? I saw you, Afro King. Peace, 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 peace. Peace, Mose. How to let our mantra go in. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, 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 Mose. Peace, Moors. Peace, Mose. Peace, Hebrews. All those that love. I send out positive vibrations. Positive vibrations. Peace, 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 peace. Love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, health, and wealth. So let's get this started today, man. We got a few things we're gonna go over. And I tell all my brothers and sisters, always ask questions, navigate. You can't learn by someone telling you, because they can tell you their religious reason. You must research what everyone says and ask questions. And if we all won, we'll walk out the door on one accord. Remember, we operate on positive vibrations, Morris. We must keep that in our head. So without further ado, let's jump into our prayer. And then we're going to jump into this science, man. We're going to jump into this science. And brothers want to know about civics, so I'm going to give a little civics today of what this all about. So we can clear some things up. And I want my brothers to research. And I'm going to give a little history. And we're going to wrap it up. And I challenge brothers and sisters to have your pens. I don't tell no one to listen to me. But I tell my brothers and sisters, I'm part of the Moorish Science Temple of America, not some city, some state, and I navigate. That's what you must do. Because no matter what, somebody is a Moor, whatever it is, a person can still lead you down the wrong road. That's what Noah Drawley was telling us. So it's always a type. Don't get it twisted. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. We Moors, we respect all the laws and the prophets. We respect Muhammad, Yahshua, which is Jesus, they say, but that was widely known. Not saying it was right, widely known and widely accepted. We must look at the pen. Buddha and Confucius. Family, I can go so far and give you history on ancient things. I can take you what the Ifa, meaning to the Sarah. I can take you all the way there, man, what the kingdom of heaven is, like 11. It's so much, but we're not going to go there. We're going to keep it in the right context. We're Sufis, man. We're not under no religious dogma. I gave you the history yesterday of the triple rose, where this is a synchronicity. We must understand that, man. A synchronicity. We are Moors. We're master navigators. We're more than just one thing. We got to understand this, family. You never let no one connotate you with their religious dogma. I tell my brothers and my sisters, especially my brothers that understand who they are, you don't have to listen to nobody. We're in the world where you must research and you must navigate. It's about nationality and divine creed. It's about understanding the law. I'm telling you, man. And when you file certain things in courts, man, that's fraud. We're going to touch some things. So I pray that I think peace, speak peace, and that I am peace. I pray that I think truth, speak truth, and that I am truth. I pray that I speak love, think love, and that I am love. I pray everything I attract Moors carries high, harmonious vibrations and intentions. May the light within me serve as a beacon for those that need it. Amen. Amen Ra. Aya Asha Aya. Ashe. Remember, Moors, we are one. My book is going to be coming out, going to clear up some things about eating to live and about herbs that heal and the Hebrew diet. All Moors know our diet is the Hebrew diet. Based off the Torah, it's just facts, specifics. There's no room to error. We obey all the laws and the commandments. Laws and the commandments. Laws and commandments. I didn't say stories. I didn't say what nobody, no religion. I said laws and commandments. Specifically. If you follow the scriptures, I lecture this, the Hebrew diet, specifically tell us what plants to eat, what food to eat, what herbs to eat, what animals in the sea to eat, what spices, honey, all that stuff in the scriptures. So it's nothing to get wrong. It's nothing to argue about. The way we eat, what we drink, it's all there. So that's nothing to argue about. If you're more, you study, and you under the right auspices, and you studying yourself, navigating, you will understand what I'm saying, Moors. We know this. May the benefit of Allah be upon thee and thine always, as thou shouldst strive to be a credit to Allah. Make haste to bestow thine acts of love upon all brothers and sisters and children, and do thy best to shun the evil ones. Remember to take suckle of the breast of knowledge, wisdom, fortitude, charity, love, and all standing. And remember that we together can nourish the souls of all men. Let truth be thy shields and the manifest battles of falsehood. Knowest that we need not, Moors, to pick the lock to the gates of paradise with petty or criminal theft. For behold, Moors, the keys of salvation already rest within our own hands. And yes, even though a portion of our nature is weakness, instability, dishonesty, inconsistency, there is still a greater part of our nature that is divine. We must understand what our divine creed is all about. Religion tell you a part of you is bad. Other religions outside of Moorish science tell you that God and man is separate. Moorish science, God and man is one, Moors. May Allah protect thee, guide thee, preserve thee, lengthen our age, and give us everlasting peace. Ashe. So, this first part we're gonna touch on. Let me pull a little something down, Moors. We can get this. I'm not even gonna be. I'm gonna touch on this, and I might touch on one more. I might touch on one more piece, and that's gonna be it. So we can understand and get in the right perspective, and always research. Look. When people be telling you things, when I say when you operate under the wrong auspices, when you're doing things wrong, man, you're breaking the law. And it's a lot of Moors that I see, they operate on the wrong side of the law. When we use this thing that's called the white sovereign citizens. Remember, when melanated, so-called sovereign citizens and Moors who are under the banner and recognized as such, that's out of line with the teachings of Noble Drew Ali, Moors. I want you to research this stuff. You don't have to listen to nothing I say. I want you to research. I want you to research, because in the court of law, not knowing law is no excuse. And that's why I say we have a divine law and creed. That's why I tell you, it's a different from modern ancient history. Ancient history is law. That's why we must study law and our spirituality. So let's kick some things. I hope you got your pens, brothers, so you can research things and you can ask the right questions. And when you ask a Moor, part of the Moorish Science Temple, or even a brother that's operating right, that study law and study indigenous people law and policy, that know real history, you're going to get the same answer. If not, he's operating on his own understanding and he don't study law. He's coming from a perspective, an arbitrary perspective. And the truth has no size, Moors. I'm going to give you something you can read so you can check how task forces are investigating these so-called brothers and sisters going on that's melanated, that's Moors with this European sovereignty thing. And I'm like, man, I'm telling you, you set yourself up for failure. I'm telling you. When you call the sovereign citizen paperwork, the so-called sovereign language, or the UCC, the Uniform Commercial Codes, man, Moors don't even know what that's all about. United Nations declarations, expiation procedures, etc., has infected the Moorish movement. Moors, follow me and research. Prophet Noble Drew Ali has been noted to have said, if you want European grand sheiks, I can give them to you. Listen to me, Moors. Meaning, Prophet Noble Drew Ali got tired of the Moors always running to accepting their verification over his lessons of freedom and salvation. Niggerpeans, that's what I call them. Some Moors with good intentions who have not been properly educated. Follow me, Moors. some with criminal or Negro mentalities. Follow me more when I talk about the context. Those looking to get a quick fix or to get over. You see what I'm saying? What false teaching, modern history, which is European history, so-called sovereign or modern history. Europeans call it sovereign groups, have been demonstrating. But they mixing these demonstrations with the documents and information that Noble Drew Ali was bringing to our people for our salvation, Morris. You got to study, man. You cannot know nothing about the Moorish Science Temple of America, Google it, and talking to a person that's not a part of a Moorish Science Temple. And then when you do talk to a brother that's went through the right way, you got to check the character. You got to check the character, because a person is not the Moorish Science Temple of America. He just a Moor, part of the Moorish Science Temple. I'm not the Moorish Science Temple of America. A sheik is not the Moorish Science Temple of America. Noble Drew Ali established the Moorish Science Temple of America. So it's the right way to become a more part of the Moorish Science Temple of America. And if you have, look on the back of your identity card, Morris. There's so much stuff on there that lets you know. Each card is registered. It's so much on that card. Our 1010 number is so much on the back of the card, the essence of these things that we would know. There's no work we need to do. All we need to do is register the right way as a Moor, part of the Moorish Science Temple of America, and you good. No one's over you. If you're part of the Moor, you are a Moor by birthright, but it's a procedure to be part of the Moorish Science Temple of America, and nobody is over you. Especially if that person talking nonsense, you be a part of the Moorish Science Temple, you do the thing the right way, you get adopted, you get your papers, that's popping. You study, you study, you study. If you're part of the Moorish Science Temple of America, you should be able to call, get research, and get all the information you need from spirituality and a nationality. It's just facts, man. It's just facts. And brother, that's good. That's why, and that's why I tell brothers know how to navigate. Brothers feel people's spirits. I tell brothers all day, we operate on vibrations. I mean, I just talk history. And if a person get ruffled with history, everything I talk about, you can research it. I'm not all knowing. I have elders. I have mentors, but I'm a historian and I'm a Moor and I have spirituality and I understand the essence of what this is all about. When I had Moors at my temple, when I was studying, I said, you can't lie to me because I study all day. I'm in the doctoral library. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, sister. Forgive me. It's not me. I'm sorry. I don't be seeing nobody's face. I sure apologize. My Empress, my Mobitis, my Hebrewist. I sure apologize. But that's what it's all about, man. I tell everybody, don't get excited when somebody telling you something and do something that they haven't done. If Noble Drew Ali said it, we all are one people. Like I tell brothers, you can be Hebrew and all that. That's great, but that's not your nationality. No one give up their culture. So let's finish. One of the main reasons why many Moors are confused is because they have not been educated about the national side of our divine and national movement. The national side is where the laws of freedom, the laws that protect our members. Listen to me, Moors, citizens and students, the full process of proclaiming your nationality and the laws that give us the right to do everything we need to do in order to build a nation and government in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice with privileges, immunities, and protection. The laws of freedom involve our proclamation, Abraham Lincoln, the 13th Amendment with 20 sections, not to be confused with the 13th Amendment with 2 sections, most known of today. Did you hear me, Moors? Did you hear me, Moors? Because if I got time, I'm gonna go over some history of what's all on our cards, and you can look the stuff up. See, like I say, I'm not here to disrespect nobody. If you print cards, that's fine. But on the back of our cards, every one is something important. It's the history. It's the things. You can look everything up. You're part of a nation. You know, and that's what I said. I'm gonna touch on things. Some people are, like I said, I don't diss nobody on no temple. But if it's not set up the way Noble Drew Ali set it up, then everything is not done the right way. That's all. And it can be done the right way. That's all I'm saying. The Hebrew codes, Listen to me. You heard how we connect the dots? The Hebrew codes that pertains to freedom as shown by Leviticus chapter 25, verse 10. Write it down, Moorish. You don't let nobody bamboozle you. Write it down, my empresses. Write it down, my Hebrewisses. Write it down, my Moorishes, my Mobitises, because you're all one. That's why they don't. That's why most brothers, most Hebrews, most people don't talk about Tamara and Ruth, because they know who y'all were. I do. I keep telling people the woman is Mayat, the garden that produced food. What is this fair all about? The woman. The woman. We say we have a way to eat. And brothers say, oh, it don't matter, but you screaming everybody is, but you disrespecting the laws and commandments, the way to live for yourself. And you telling somebody else how to live. That's why I tell brothers and sisters, check to see how the spirit is. You can tell a person's spirit and how they live and they're energized by what they eat and what comes out their mouths. I'm telling you, I promise you. I keep telling my brothers and sisters, humans are connected to earth. So anytime, I don't care if you dressed up looking like you righteous, you can tell what comes out the person's mouth. I promise you. I didn't say, we don't say we're the only chosen. What you mean chosen one when you say that? So you dissing the tribe of Benjamin, you dissing all these groups, and they say you're chosen by a connotated Bible, which is the King James Version, which is a version, which is Novus Testamentum, which is made, it's so much. And brothers don't even read the Hebrew scriptures. I tell brothers and sisters, I have all the Bibles. I have the Geneva Bibles from 1599 where they talk about the Moor. I have the Holy Name Bibles. I have the God Name Bibles. I tell all brothers that say they Hebrew Israelites, how you say you're a Hebrew Israelite and you use Jesus and Christian, which are not even English name, which are not even English, and you don't even use the tongue that was spoken, who the people that were Hebrews. No way a Hebrew going to use Jesus' name. No way a Hebrew going to say God, which is G-A-W-D. God in English, G-A-W. Research it in the preface of the Holy Name Bible. But let's finish, Moors. So let's talk about some things that we got to understand about this process that Moorish Americans to come back to lawfully into the constitutional fold of the Union and correct their status, their religion, their race, their name, their birth certificate, and jurisdiction, and really understand what the Holy Quran, the Moorish literature, the 101s, the questionnaire, our authority, our charter warrant and dispensation, and our divine constitution and bylaws is really saying, especially the degrees in Act 6. What about the Torah? I have to go over the whole Torah lesson because we have to get in the essence of things. We go by the laws and commandments. A lot of stuff in there are just stories. Like I tell brothers and sisters, when we research, oh, I'm sorry, Moors. That's why I said, if a brother telling you they know Hebrew and don't have a Hebrew lexicon to tell you what words mean, they lost because so much stuff is different. When I talk about the ephah, and then in the English Bible, they don't talk about the ephah. They call it something else. We talk about Sarah. It's so much things that we have to connect. It's a study. So yes, it's some essence in the Torah, but it has to be deciphered the right way, because words mean the same thing yesterday, today, to evermore. That's why words were changed, to throw you off the track. The breadcrumbs are threw down, and then they pick them up and change it and replace them with other names that's meaning the same thing. So the Torah is some truth in all things, but it must be deciphered the right way. Every holy book must be deciphered the right way. Everything. Because if it wasn't no truth in it, we'd be talking about Moors in all religious books. You have to know all languages. So like I was saying, we have to understand when people be connotating us and giving you fake things. Like I was saying, that the laws of freedom involve the 4 proclamations of Abraham Lincoln, the 13th Amendment with 20 sections, not to be confused with the 13th Amendment with 2 sections. We got to get that, Moors. You got to make a personal note of that. Most known of today, the Hebrew codes that pertains to freedom as shown by Leviticus chapter 25 and 10, written on the Liberty Bell, Moors, understanding how the Moorish National Bureau of Vital Statistics was set up. You know, you got to understand how the Grand Sheikh Richard Ding El, how they went to the Pentagon to speak to the military on the naturalization and recording the process for all Moorish Americans to come back lawfully into the constitutional fold and union and correct their status, religion, name, birth certificate, and jurisdiction, and really understand what kind of them about. The one-on-one questionnaire. Write this down, Moors. Our authority, our charter warrant, dispensation, and our divine constitution, our bylaws. We got to understand what all that's really saying, Moors, especially the degrees in Acts 6, Moors. We got to remember, no disrespect to nobody, but when you do the history, anybody can perpetrate. Just like people wear knockoff clothing. I say, if you can't afford the real deal, why knockoff? So follow the context what I'm saying. It's a lot of temples, and I'm not talking about them, but it's some that are not properly registered. Did you hear me? That are not properly registered. That are not properly registered. Follow me, Moors. That are not properly registered. So they have no saying power or able to do anything political. There are some that only deal with the divine side. Like I tell brothers, I'm a spiritual person. So I have that spiritual aspect because I've been through all the fire, but I know the other side because I'm a first-year law student. I'm a first-year law student. I study indigenous people law and policy. So I'm not coming with no fake connotated nothing to you, Moors. So let's listen to what I'm saying. There are a few science temples. I don't know them. I'm not going to keep saying them. You know them because how they operate. They're not going by what Noble Drew Ali is saying. You can find that stuff. So follow me. I don't know them. I'm not going to talk about them. But if they don't tell you the truth, I'm going to break all this, what our cards mean by law. I'm going to show you all this. If you want to see it, we all got the information. But they are not properly registered. 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 Registered, more. Does it mean a difference? I'll be showing you what register mean. So they have no saying power. You hear what I said? No saying power or able to do anything political. There are some that only deal with the divine side. I kept Timothy Drew. When I went to my conversion, I had a temple out here. Physics. I tell brothers about the triple rows. When you talk to them more and triple rows about all the religious rites, and this is a synchronicity, you know they don't know what they're talking about. Because they're not understanding. We are Sufism. We spiritual people. We navigate. Brothers don't even read the Circle 7 Quran. Brothers don't even understand the science. So therefore, I tell people, no one can stop you from being nationalized in the Moorish Science Temple of America. If they are, that's their religious dogma. You should call in the right way. That's your right. Yes, it costs because they're filing papers. That's all. Every brother's not right. I don't care if they have a fair zone family. Noble Drew Ali told us this. So let's finish. Where was I at? But yeah, ego. So it is understandably why many people have turned away their ear. Listen more what I always tell you. Research the researcher. Research the researcher. Research everything I say. I don't tell nobody. I'm not here to convert nobody. I know who I am. I'm a Moor and I'm spiritual. My brother was murdered by a Negro. You think I got to deal? You think I'm dealing with this world in a physical? I got to deal with this world spiritual. I know who I am. I'm a business. I know how to operate. I have a business degree. I don't have no fake degrees. I have a master's degree in antiquity, medieval times, medieval time, dark ages. I have a degree in Christian education and pastoral leadership. I've been in the fire. People don't want to tell you about the pen, how the pen was changed. They don't want to tell you about first history because they're not philosophers. They're not scholars. They're religion. Religion has no size. Theosophy has no size. So I break it all the way down to the root, to the Ediman. So let's just get with this, Moors. Let's finish this up. But they mix in themselves or mix different procedures in order to stop from getting misused and abused in society by the de facto jurisdiction because of this confusion and stagnation of the greatest movement of the planet, which is the Moorish Science Temple of America, Moors. It's a few temples that I know, right? Like I follow certain temples like the Divine National Movement of the North American Inc., Temple 13. Out here in Arizona, we was District 9, what Temple number 7, District 9.